Well, hello beautiful souls, it's your girl Janae coming at you with another video, and as you can tell by the title, this video is going to be about my perfume declutter regrets. I know I have 10 fragrances that I have decluttered out of my collection that I miss. It's like I'm that ex that's trying to come back around. Like, hey big head, that's me right now with these fragrances, and I regret getting rid of them. So if you guys are interested in seeing what fragrances I'm talking about, why I miss them, what about them makes me miss them, then go ahead and just keep on watching. So if you are new to my channel, hello again. My name is Janae. Welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for clicking back onto another video. I truly appreciate you guys' support. So if you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and join the family, and give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more videos from moi. Now let's get into it because I'm stressed. I want to add these back and I don't know, guys. So before I hop into today's video, I do want to share with you guys my lip combo, because I've been doing lip combos, you know, in the beginning of my videos because a lot of you guys compliment them and like want to know what I'm wearing. So for my lip liner, I'm using one of my favorite drugstore lip liners, and this is the Milani Understatement lip liner in the shade 180 Rich Cocoa. This is like the perfect warm brown in my opinion, but it's not as dark of a brown as my Crucifix from KVD Beauty. That's when I really want to like vamp it up and have more of like a blackened brown on my skin tone. But yeah, this shade is just so gorgeous. This is just like a warm chestnutty brown, and on my skin tone I definitely get more of that 90s vibe. I love the retractable, you know, lip liner. I'm not into sharpening my lip liners, but I will if I have to. But yeah, this one's really nice. It blends out very well. It lasts for a very long time too, and I think this retails for like $10. I get mine normally at Ulta. And I'm also wearing Fenty Beauty's Gloss Bomb Cream in the shade Fruit Snacks. I am obsessed with this, and Cookie Jar and Honey Waffles. Like, those are my top 3 shades from that like cream line. And yeah, they just give me vibes. Like, I love how they feel. They're moisturizing. So cute, so cute. And I love this little combo because it's giving that like Coca-Cola lip. So I have all the fragrances in my notes on my phone. I look through my Macari, I look through like Facebook and just other places that I've decluttered before, my email, and these are the 10 that I think about the most. So the first fragrance I really miss, probably more than any of the others on this list, is Rose's Vanille from Mancera. Y'all, I decluttered this year. Was it this year? I think earlier this year. Yeah, I decluttered it, and it really was because I wasn't wearing it enough. Like, I felt like I needed to wear it more. I felt like I was kind of neglecting it, and I wasn't really craving it. But now that I don't have it, I'm craving that sugary, deep, sexy rose. Like, that's really what I'm feeling with that vanilla, like, but more on the sugary side. I think it would just complement so many other fragrances that I have, so many combos I've been thinking about that would be great with that one. And my juice was so rich and dark. So yeah, I think that's probably one I'm definitely gonna add back to my collection. I don't know if it's gonna be by, you know, the end of the year, but definitely next year I'm gonna add it because I really miss Rose's Vanille in my collection. And as a rose girly, I feel like if you love like sweet floral fragrances, especially rose, that's like a staple. That's a staple to have for sure. And you can find her for a pretty good deal on like Joma Shop or something like that. And I'm gonna leave links in the description for everything. Now the next fragrance I want to talk to you guys about is also from Mancera, and this is one that I'm still kind of on the fence about, but I really do miss it. Mainly the deep dry down of the fragrance. The opening can go, but the dry down I love. And I'm talking about Pearl from Mancera. Pearl is pretty much like a green fig fragrance. So it's fruity, it's sweet, it's woody, and it has this very interesting aromatic green quality to it as well. I really feel like that green like fig leaf gives it more of like a aromatic or herbal type of quality to it, which I don't like in the opening. But then when the fragrance dries down, I really like how it gets kind of creamy and sweet with a little woodiness. It becomes very sexy, but it is very strong. Okay, it is very intense. That's the type of fragrance that you wear if you want to stand out in a crowd, and it's just one that I'm kind of iffy about. Like, I'm on the fence about getting it back, but that dry down is so addictive and creamy. It was pretty unique in my collection as well. So yeah, that's just something I really have been thinking about. Pearl, I've been thinking about Pearl. She might have to come back. Next, we have a fragrance from one of the most popular like luxury niche brands out there, and I loved this fragrance, but I hated how it opened, and I just felt like I didn't need it. And it's been long enough, and I've been craving it long enough to where I'm like, you know what, I'm confident in saying that this is gonna come back to my collection because I've missed it for so long and I've thought about it for so long. I need it. And it's Grand Soir from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is one of the most beautiful ambery fragrances I have ever gotten my nose on. Granted, there are hundreds and thousands of fragrances on this planet, but like that amber, it's very resinous, it's warm. In the deep dry down, it becomes very like vanillic, but when it opens up, the fragrance opens up extremely masculine, and I get like a very intense woody amber. It's really hard to explain, but maybe 20 minutes in, that's when I start to get more of those vanillic touches, more of those like sweet touches from the resin, and I love it. Like, I love it. It smells so good. And I had a decant that I just used all up. I tried to save it. I tried to preserve it until I got a bottle, but I literally craved that fragrance over and over and over and over again. So I just used it all up. I used it all up. That fragrance is gorgeous. The bottle's gorgeous. The scent is gorgeous. It's literally one of the best from the house, hands down. Everyone hypes up Baccarat Rouge 540, which I absolutely love. Don't get me wrong. The OG and the Extracted Parfum are both gonna have a place in my collection for as long as I have a collection, okay? Grand Soir is just so underrated. It's so underrated. I feel like women specifically need to get onto it because it's so sexy, it's so sensual, it's so alluring, but it also has that slight masculine edge that is very bold and like kind of unexpected. But the deep dry down is very vanillic, and the sillage is gorgeous, and the performance is incredible. It's just an amazing fragrance. I really, really, really enjoy it. I miss it so much. That's gonna come to my collection sooner than later. Probably not by the end of the year again because I've done some damage for Christmas, but very soon. Y'all are gonna see a haul, and that one probably more than likely will be in that haul. Speaking of Francis Kurkdjian, this fragrance that I'm going to talk to you guys about is one that I literally kept in my collection less than like a month. And that was earlier on in my collection, like earlier on in my fragrance journey, especially when it came to this YouTube thing when I found out about Francis Kurkdjian and all that stuff. And my nose wasn't as refined as it is now. Of course, I'm always learning. I'm always, you know, training my nose and trying to discover new notes and just new scent profiles that I can really get into. But at the time, I don't think I appreciated more fresh green rose fragrances, and Aloe Rose is one that I have grown to love. I did not like it as much. I felt like it was a little too mature for me, but I find those types of like green, fresh, floral fragrances are perfect for like the springtime. They're very feminine, very dainty, very elegant. I've grown to love that scent profile, and I feel like it's a little bit more refined, dare I say, like a little bit more put together. I mean, there's a time and a place for everything. I'm not saying that's going to be my favorite style, but I've learned to appreciate it more versus like completely shunning it out. It's very nice. It's very approachable, very watery even. I get like a nice aquatic quality from that fragrance, but mainly it's a green rose with like this nice fresh undercurrent. It's just very nice. I really, really enjoy the fragrance. It's slightly musky as well, so I get this nice, you know, feminine, dainty sex appeal. So yeah, Aloe Rose from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. That's one that's been on my mind heavy because it's a little bit different in my collection, and I feel like it's gonna be perfect for the spring and summertime, being outdoors, you know, just exploring again, and just feeling very feminine and dainty. Next, we have two fragrances from House of Sillage, and I recently decluttered one, and the other I decluttered back in like 2020 or 2021. I regret them both. I'm kind of at the point now where it's like, okay, I do want to get back into Hauts of Siage. I recently was added to their PR list, so it's nice to be able to explore their newer launches, but I'm kind of missing some of the signature collection fragrances that I used to own that I got rid of. The first fragrance was Hauts Bijoux. That's the most recent fragrance I decluttered, and it's not because I don't like it. I love that juicy sweet mango with the florals, and it's kind of tropical, and it has a nice vanillic touch to it. It's fresh, but it's not overly fresh. It's very fruity and just gorgeous. However, it was just one that I wasn't reaching for enough. I was really reaching for Mango Skin and Oshun 5 as my mango scents. Even Cruz del Sur 2 from Xerjoff, like those were my mango scents of choice. But Hauts Bijoux, I loved it. Like I really loved it, but I just didn't wear it enough. So a lot of times when I declutter fragrances, even if I love them, if I don't wear them enough, I'm like, okay, they need to be rotated. Somebody needs to get use out of it, because if you don't know, fragrances do expire, but if you know, store them correctly and all that, they can last a long time. But I just did not want to keep that same bottle and not spray it and use it and wear it. But Hauts of Siage sent over their signature discovery set, and I smelled Hauts Bijoux again, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I need this. Tiara, Hauts Bijoux, and the next fragrance I'm going to talk about were like blowing my socks off. Benevolence blew my socks off, and I'm like, yeah, it's time to like rebuild my signature collection with Hauts of Siage. They always have amazing deals. You can get 25% off the discovery set if you'd like. I have a discount code in the description box and a link as well. So if you guys want to support me and my channel, no pressure though. You can shop those links and I can get more opportunities to have different fragrances on this channel. But yeah, I think that, yeah, Hauts Bijoux, that's one I definitely need to get back into my collection ASAP. It's one that they have sales on often. So I think I might just cop it during a sale, but I think I'm going to get Benevolence first, Tiara, and then Hauts Bijoux, and then follow up with this next fragrance I'm going to talk about. So the next Hauts of Siage fragrance is Passion de l'Amour. Now, I got rid of Passion de l'Amour because at the time when I had it in like 2020 and I was like discovering the brand, I loved it. I really did love the fragrance. But the thing is, my wife is not a fan of ouds, and that's such a sexy and sensual oud fragrance with like saffron and caramel and oud. It's just delicious, but also like woody and sexy. I would want to wear it for date night, and like she was not having it. So I was like, you know what, I'm not wearing it enough. Like I'm not wearing it enough. I want to be able to wear the fragrance. Maybe I can get like a travel spray or something, but I never followed up and got a travel spray. So I just decluttered it and never added it back to my collection in any capacity. And again, since Hauts of Siage sent over that discovery kit, I sprayed it and I just let it dry down. And I don't think that that oud is as intense as I thought it was a few years ago. And maybe that's because I've like explored ouds more. It's so sexy, and I feel like my wife might come around to it if I layer it with another fragrance in mind. But yeah, like Passion de l'Amour, gorgeous fragrance. It's literally one of my favorite bottles in the signature collection, so love that about it as well. And it's just very, very sexy. It's one of the sexiest fragrances from Hauts of Siage, and I just think that if you like those like deeper, darker, heavier scents with the gourmand touch, then Passion de l'Amour is awesome. It's not for everybody though, so I definitely recommend trying before you buy. So the discovery set will be a nice little way to get into the brand. And yeah, definitely getting that back into my collection sometime. But I have a chronological order when I want to order that scent. Next, we have two from Maison Margiela. And I did a full Maison Margiela collection video back in 2021, I believe. 2020. I was working in 2020 and 2021, okay? I think it was 2020 though. Yeah, I think it was 2020. I'm gonna leave the videos I'm talking about in the cards and the eye in the sky or whatnot. But I decluttered so many of my Maison Margiela fragrances because I just felt like I wasn't wearing them enough. Like I just really felt like I was wasting space in my collection because they were kind of sitting there. And really, I got a lot of those fragrances to test out the full line so I could tell you guys my thoughts and like my recommendations. But yeah, I got rid of a lot of them, and now I think I only have 3 in my collection out of the full line. But Springtime in a Park. Springtime in a Park. Another fresh floral fragrance with a little bit of a fruity twist. I know it has like pear in it. I think there's like a fresh floral like peony or something to that nature, maybe rose, jasmine, something in that area. But it's a very watery, fresh pear fragrance with those floral nuances. It's kind of musky as well. It's a beautiful fragrance, especially for spring. It really reminds you of walking through a park in the springtime. It's so gorgeous. So that's one I definitely want to add to my collection. It's perfect for those hotter days, but in a more springtime way, like a fresh dewy way, if that makes sense. It's a very nice fragrance. I do miss it, and I definitely want to add that one back in my collection. And then the next Maison Margiela fragrance is Lipstick On. Now I miss Lipstick On mainly because of like FOMO, I guess. It's discontinued. You cannot get your hands on it, and if you can, the bottle isn't in a good condition, or they're charging you crazy prices for that. I would not recommend getting it off of Macari or anything like that, because those prices are ridiculous. Unless you got it like that. If you got it like that, girl, then you do it. But for me, no, I'm not doing that. Lipstick On is just like kind of how it sounds. It's like a lipsticky fragrance. It's a powdery floral fragrance. I believe there's like iris in there. There are other notes in there as well, but mainly it's like a iris heavy scent. Very powdery, very floral, but it does give off that lipsticky vibe. But it has this sweet undercurrent. It's like a vanillic touch that really adds this nice sweetness to the fragrance, so it's not just straight up like makeup powder, you know. It might even be tonka beans, but it's a nice sweet touch that's added to that powdery floral aspect. So it's pretty nostalgic when it comes to like fragrances in general, like that very nostalgic scent memory that we have associated with old school makeup. That's what it smells like. And yeah, sometimes I just crave the smell. It's nice to have. It's nice to switch it up a little bit and kind of give off those, you know, sophisticated old school vintage vibes. I do miss that fragrance. I would love to add that to my collection if it was reasonably priced, but the way that these prices are looking, I'm probably never getting that in my collection again, which is okay. But yeah, I definitely regret decluttering that fragrance for sure. Now this fragrance is one that I also purchased a long time ago, decluttered it, and then I put it back on my wish list because yeah, it was just so unique. So Florabotanica from Balenciaga. It's a polarizing one. Either you love it or you hate it. I hated it at first. I did not like it. I didn't even put it in a haul because the way I was going to talk about that fragrance was not nice. So it's really a green, fresh, slightly minty fragrance. It has a floral aspect to it. It's slightly musky, a little bit woody, but overall you get like an intense, fresh green scent. It has a cannabis note in it, but it didn't really smell like, you know, cannabis to me. It kind of smelled more like grass, like really grassy. Maison Margiela has one called Music Festival. If you want to smell like, you know, get that one. Or Fragrance Du Bois got one. I think it's called Cannabis Blue. Or child, I was like, oh yeah, y'all out here with that Cali stuff in these bottles. Anyways, I'm just gonna be real. I didn't like it at all. I really felt like it smelled like grass, like very dewy, fresh, clean grass. It was kind of weird. I didn't like it. But now I find myself craving it, like that minty, fresh, like very refreshing way that it just wore on my skin. It's like cooling, kind of like it has this like cooling aspect, which would be great for, you know, the summertime, very hot days. I think it'll be really nice to add that back in my collection. I think it had rose or geranium in it as well, so you get a little bit of a floral aspect, which I actually really enjoyed. But Florabotanica, if I can find a bottle, I'm definitely gonna add that. Definitely gonna add that. And last but not least, we have an orange blossom fragrance that I did not appreciate. I did not appreciate until recently, and the reason why I appreciate it now is because I have a little bit left from this discovery kit that I had. It was like the travel discovery set that I got back in, I believe, 2020, and Safanad from Perfumes de Marly. I don't know why I decluttered my full bottle. I don't know why, but I did. And I think it's because I felt like orange blossom or the white florals that was in there was just a little heady, a little indolic. I felt like it kind of gave my skin this like bad breath effect. I don't know if my body chemistry has changed over the years. You know, I've had a second child and all types of stuff, but I think maybe at that time as well, I was still a fresh mom. So my hormones and things, my nose was still a little bit off. I don't know. I was a new mom and I was trying new fragrances, and I really started to get into perfumery and fragrances and just the luxury side, celebrity fragrances, designer fragrances. I was really diving in, discovering all types of fragrances, and I think maybe my nose wasn't ready for Safanad. I don't know, but I absolutely love it. So if you love fragrances like Benevolence from Hauts Bijoux or Love Don't Be Shy, those like sweet orange blossom fragrances, you would enjoy that one. It does have a little bit of a twist to it though. It's not as sweet as Benevolence, but it does have that sweetness from the vanilla and the orange blossom. That's one that I definitely want to add to my collection. I have a lot of Perfumes de Marly fragrances, and that's just one that I feel like is missing in my Perfumes de Marly like catalog, and I really enjoy sweet orange blossom fragrances, so I wouldn't mind having that, Benevolence, and Love Don't Be Shy. I love all three of them, so yeah, I would love to add Safanad back into my collection. So what did you guys think about today's video? I really hope you all enjoyed. I had so much fun making it, telling you guys about my perfume declutter regrets. I really miss these fragrances. I would love to add them back sooner than later, but some can wait. Some are more at the top of my priority list. So if you guys are new to my channel, I do quiz you guys at the end of all of my videos just to see who's been rocking with me into the end or whatnot. And for today's video, I want you to leave me the sad face emoji, because y'all, I'm sad. Like, I really don't understand how I spent my money, decluttered it, and then I'm gonna spend my money again. It's a sad day, but it's gonna be a good day because I'm gonna be happy having those in my collection. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you all in the next one.